everyone, how y'all doing? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm really excited to talk about my December TBR with all of you. I don't really make TBR videos all that often, but for some reason when it comes to December I just love making them so much. Maybe it's because it's just the end of the year, so it's exciting to talk about all the books that I want to read before the year ends, or maybe it's just because December is my favorite month of the year. I don't know, but regardless, I have a lot of books that I'm trying to read this month because I am behind on my reading goal for the year. Every year for the past, I don't even know how many years, 4 or 5 I feel like, I've been trying to read 100 books, and I've succeeded every time I've set out to do that. But this year has been a little bit difficult, and so I haven't been reading as much as I normally do. So I think I'm currently 15 books behind, 16 books behind, and that is just not okay. I'm definitely lowering my reading goal for next year just to kind of take that extra added layer of stress off of myself, because really reading is supposed to be fun, and when I'm going through so much, and I will be continuing to go through a lot of changes next year as well, I just don't want to be pushing myself to read as many books. But anyways, I have some very exciting books to talk about in this video, so let's just get started. So first I have some Christmassy themed books because obviously it's me. I love Christmas. I love Christmas books, so obviously I would have some Christmassy books on my TBR. So the first one is a reread, and it is a Merry Little Meet Cute by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. This book came out last year and I really loved it. It's a really fun and cute book about our main character, who is an adult movie star who kind of accidentally gets cast in a Hallmark Christmas movie, and it's just so much fun. It has a lot of really funny dynamics to it. I do believe it's dual POV if I'm remembering correctly, and it's just so good. I love Julie Murphy. I've always been a huge fan of Julie Murphy. I've yet to read any Sierra Simone books, solo Sierra Simone books. I just realized I still have my Value Village sticker on here, so I'll have to try to take that off at some point. But I had a lot of fun at reading this book last year. I really enjoyed it. But my main motivator for rereading this book is they released a companion novel called A Holly Jolly Ever After, and that came out I believe in October, and I really want to read it. I don't own it, I don't have my hands on it, but I do have a hold on it at the library, so hopefully that comes in before Christmas. Otherwise I'm gonna be really sad. But I'm really looking forward to rereading this one, reading the new book, even though I honestly have no idea what it's about. I don't know who it follows. I'm just here for a good time, honestly. But yes, if you're looking for a really fun holiday romance, this one I do recommend. I just think it's a silly, goofy time, you know? It's a lot of fun. Then I have a couple of new Christmas books that I haven't read. I don't think they're actually new, they're just new to me. So the first one is The Christmas Wish. This is by Lindsay Kelk. I have not heard anything about this book, I don't think. The cover was super cute. I'm obsessed with this Christmas tree. Stunning. This one gives me the same vibes as In a Holidays by Christina Lauren, which is my favorite holiday romance book, and I don't think I'm gonna reread it this year. My copy is currently in storage, and you know what, this, like I said, has very similar Groundhog Day-esque vibes in the plot that I think maybe I'll take a year off reading In a Holidays. I don't know if I'm gonna stick to that because I love that book so much, and I highly recommend it if you also want to read a fun Christmas book. But this one does give me the same vibes, except the Groundhog Day situation is on Christmas Day specifically, whereas in a Holidays it's the entire week leading up to Christmas. But honestly, besides that, I don't know a whole lot about this book, but I think it's gonna be a really fun time, and I'm hoping that it does have similar vibes to In a Holidays, because I love that book, while also being different enough that I'm not just being constantly reminded of that book the entire time, if you know what I mean. Sometimes being too similar to another book is a downfall. So I'm hoping this does not fall into that, and I'm hoping that I can enjoy it for what it is on its own. But I'm really looking forward to this one, and I'm also thinking that I will probably, hopefully, do a Christmas themed reading vlog as I usually do every year, where I will be reading all of these Christmassy themed books. But the last specific Christmas book I want to read is All I Want for Christmas by Maggie Knox. I do believe I have heard of this book, but I don't remember what I've heard about it. It looks familiar to me, and all I know about this one is the backdrop of the book is a reality singing show, and that seems like a lot of fun. I'm really excited, and I just saw in the description that the two main characters can't stand each other. and we all know that that's just like an elite romance trope. So I'm looking so forward to this one, and I hope that I really love it, because I feel like, you know, I need to build up my Christmas romance book list, because honestly I feel like I don't have that many under my belt, and that is a crime. So hopefully I love all of these ones. I'm really excited about them. Comment down below if you've read any of these Christmas books and let me know what you thought about them, or maybe give me some Christmas book recommendations that maybe I can pick up this year or next year. I'd really love to know. And then the next book is one that I so desperately need to read because it's on my TBR for the year. It might have been on my TBR for last year, I think it was. And it's just a book that I've been wanting to read since it came out in 2017. 2017, 6 years ago, okay? 6 years ago. Witchwood by Tahara Mafi. What is wrong with me? I have no idea, okay? I've been needing to read this book for so long, okay? All I know about it is that it follows our main character who washes dead bodies for a living. That's all I've ever known about this book. That's all I've ever wanted to know about this book. It is the companion to Furthermore by Tahara Mafi. It's a middle grade book, and obviously the cover very much so gives like wintry wonderland vibes, and I think I'm really gonna love it. I just don't know why I haven't actually read it yet. I had to get it from the library because my copy is in storage, but I really want to get to this book. I just do, okay? I really liked Furthermore, and I think that there is the potential for me to like this one even more than that. So I just need to finally get to it, okay? It needs to happen. I've also been doing really poorly on my 23 books to read in 2023 list, so quite a few of these books are from that TBR, and this is one of them, okay? I think this is even like the first book on the list. I just need to get to it, okay? It needs to happen, and if it does not happen this month, please yell at me, okay? Please bully me into reading this book. So if I don't read it this month, I need to read it in January because it needs to be read in winter. That's just where my brain is. It needs to be read in winter. So I need to read this book. The next book on my TBR is one that I need to read, not only because it's on my TBR for the year, but also because it is the Besties and Books book club pick for December, and it is The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. This is a book that I'm very nervous to read because it's really hyped up, but there's also like a lot of mixed reviews on it. But I'm personally really excited for it because it's a fake dating book, and we all know that that's my favorite trope. So I really want to love this book. So it's perfect that it's the Besties and Books book club pick, because that means that I have to get to it, because I think this has been on my TBR for a couple of months now and I just have not read it. It's probably been on even more TBRs than that. Like, I'm always wanting to read this book and then I just never get around to it. But I'm definitely in the mood this month for some very quick romances, because I've been reading so slowly, and like I said, I have a lot of books that I need to read this month, so hopefully all these romances will be very quick reads. I'm very excited to read this book. Hopefully I love it. And if you have not yet read this book, or if you want to do a reread of it, then please join in with us for the Besties and Books book club this month. I'm so excited. Maybe we'll even do a like reading sprints live show or something this month. I'm not sure, but I'm very excited about this book and hopefully I love it. The next book is Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. This is another book on my TBR for 2023, so I need to get to it. This is another one that I don't know why I've been putting it off for so long, because one, I love Christina Lauren, and two, I know that this is a lot of people's favorite Christina Lauren book, including some of my friends' favorite Christina Lauren book, so I don't know why I haven't gotten to it yet. It's been a hot minute since I've read a new Christina Lauren book, and that just feels like a crime. So all I know about this one is that it's friends to lovers. I honestly don't remember anything specific about the description, but I'm very excited about this one. It is a relatively short book, so I think it's going to be a quick read. I typically read Christina Lauren books like quickly, so I'm hoping that this one is no different. I'm really excited. Like, just like the tagline at the top here has me so intrigued. It says just friends, just friends, just friends. If they repeat it enough, maybe it'll be true. And you know what? Those are just the vibes that I need in my life right now. So the next books I want to read are a series, and I'm only going to hold up one of them because I'm lazy and I didn't want to grab them all, but it is the Heartstopper graphic novel series by Alice Oseman. So the 5th volume is coming out this month and I'm so excited about it. I think it comes out later in the month for US and Canada. I think it comes out earlier in the UK, but regardless, I'm so excited, and the second that it comes out, I'm picking myself up a copy and I will be binge reading all of these these, and I'm going to be really grateful for reading these because it's definitely going to give me that much needed boost for my reading challenge, because it's 5 books that I can read really quickly. I love this graphic novel series, and if you know me, I am not a huge graphic novel comic kind of person. Like, it has to be something really special for me to enjoy it. I don't know why that is, but it is the way that it is. But I love this series so much, and I'm honestly really looking forward to rereading them, and honestly been kind of wanting to reread them all year, but I've been holding out because I wanted to wait until the 5th volume was coming out. And I believe I just realized this is the first volume of Heartstopper that's coming out where like I've been all caught up in the series, so like this is the first one that I'm like truly anticipating in real time. That is so exciting. I'm so thrilled about that. Like, this is going to be so much fun. I also feel like these are just the perfect books to kind of like end the year out with, because I do feel like these will be some of the last books that I read in the year, and I'm just really excited. Like, I miss Nick and Charlie so much, so I think this is going to be a really fun time, and I can guarantee you these books will be read this month. There is no question about it. I will be reading these. Okay, this is the last adult romance on my TBR, and it is Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. This is another book that has been on quite a few TBRs this year. It's on my overall 2023 TBR. I don't know why I haven't gotten to it. I'm so excited about it. It's another book all about a wedding. It's a sapphic book, so we love that. I don't know why I haven't gotten to it. It is a bit of a bigger romance. Maybe that's kind of been a deterrent. I don't know. I've just been in like the weirdest reading mood all year long, never knowing what I want to read, and just like I don't know. This entire year has just been so weird for everything. Like YouTube, writing, reading, everything has been like thrown off kilter this year. I really want to get to this book. I don't know much about it besides it takes place at a wedding. I think our main character, I think this one maybe, is the wedding photographer. I don't know. I'm really excited, so hopefully I can get to this one as well, because I really want to tick off more of my 23 books to read in 2023 list. While we're at it, another book on my 2023 TBR is Honey and Yishu's Guide to Fake Dating by Adiba Jagradar. The book that was on my November TBR, and I didn't get to it. I did pick it up, and I even put like a bookmark at the beginning and everything, and then I just like realized I wasn't in the mood for it, so I put it back down. But I really want to read this because, again, fake dating is just my favorite trope of all time, and this one is a YA book about fake dating. Again, I don't remember anything specific about like the circumstances surrounding the fake dating, but I'm really excited about this one. The cover is so cute, and I have had such good success with YA contemporaries this year that, you know what, I feel like adding another one to the list. Okay, I'm really excited about this one. I just need to actually sit down and read it, and you know what, I could probably read this in a sitting, so I don't know what is stopping me. The next book is another one that was on my November TBR. Didn't get around to it, but it is one of my most anticipated releases of this entire year, and I would really like to read it before the year ends so that it can be a contender for my favorite books of the year list. And that is The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. This is the next book in the Darker Shades of Magic series, but it's also like the first book in the Threads of Power series. So they're like companion series, so this is the first book in like the spin-off series of A Darker Shade of Magic. Why am I making this so complicated? I don't know, but The Fragile Threads of Power, I'm so excited about this book. I even reread A Darker Shade of Magic in preparation for this book back in September? No, in October. And then I just dropped the ball and I didn't pick this up. Like, I don't even think I tried to pick this up. I think I'm just scared to read it because it's a new book in one of my favorite series, and so it's stressful. But Alyssa just read it and she adored it, so that makes me feel better, because like A Darker Shade of Magic is like one of her favorite series, like way more so than me, and so I feel like if she loves this then I have to love it. I'm just nervous because it's a big book. It doesn't look that big because Bible thin pages, which I will forever hate, but it's like over 600 pages, and since I need to read so many books this month, this has me a little bit nervous because I'm gonna want to read this as quickly as I can so that I can read other books. So guys, wish me luck. I'm so nervous that I'm not gonna hit 100 books for the first time ever. Since making that my goal. But I really want to read this book. I've heard really great things about it, and I really want to get to it. I'm so scared. The last book on my TBR is another one that I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to it or not. I really want to. I don't know if it's in the cards for December, but I really want to read Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I've never watched an adaptation of Little Women. I don't know much about Little Women except like what they talk about in that one episode of Friends where Joey reads Little Women and Rachel reads The Shining. That's all I know. So I do know like big spoilers for this book, unfortunately, but it's a classic, so that is bound to happen. But I really want to read this book. I want to do a Capturing Classics video for it. I have not done a single Capturing Classics video this year, even though literally I've tried to do 2 other ones next to this one, and none of them have panned out because reading has just been so weird. But I really want to get to this one. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I really want to watch the movie, so we're gonna see. I don't know if I'm going to be able to upload the video this month if I do end up reading this book, but maybe look out for it in January. I hope that I can get to this. Like, I genuinely really hope that I can get to this. I don't know, classics and me, sometimes we don't mesh, and this book is looking really intimidating because of how big it is, and I feel like it's got fairly tiny font, so I'm a little bit nervous. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up, comment down below and let me know what you're planning on reading in December because I'd really love to know. Subscribe if you have not yet already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!